Let's get back in our pro run of Conan Exiles here. I've gone ahead and done some other journey steps. You're going to want to continue to do these as we get closer to actually building at a location. But we're not going to do that yet. The first thing we need to do is head off and get rid of our corruption. So yes, we are going to head over to Sepper Maru. We're going to meet up at Conan's bar. We'll meet him, and then I'll take you to the other location that I like to loot early on in game. Now, the quickest path to Sepper Maru is to just run through the unnamed city. However, if you're not comfortable running through the unnamed city, you can go around it. I, however, am perfectly comfortable running through here. I may even stop and grab some loot on the way by, although it's really not necessary for our progression. If you want to stop and grab the loot, this is going to be where I suggest doing it, where the other locations are a little bit less accessible. This one's pretty easy to run in, grab what's there, and then run back out, and it's this chest right here. We'll just grab that and head off. I actually got really lucky there by getting 5 perfected light paddings, so when I get to the point where I can craft perfected armor, I already have those light paddings ready to go, and that's going to save me a bunch of time gathering those resources. On your way to Sepper Maru, one animal that I always stop and fight is this kudu right here. These kudus will give you an absolute ton of experience when you defeat them, and I highly recommend that you stop off and fight these guys because, like I said, they are an enormous amount of experience. You'll also want to make sure that you skin them for their hide so that we can use that to make armor. Now, it doesn't matter which way you went to get to this location, there's a couple of things that I'll hit right off the bat. The first thing is right behind the Set Temple. I'll look at that chest to see if there's anything good in it. We do have a couple of good things that we can grab out of here. One is the honey glazed roast. That's going to give you the warming effect if you decide to go up north. We also have the Eyes of Set, which is going to teach us the Set religion. Not far from that temple, we have a building we can climb, and we can look in this chest as well. There is a steel sickle in there, but since I already have a couple of steel sickles, I'm not actually going to grab this one. There are 2 more chests that I always check when I come up here. One is at the end of this road here, and it's going to be at the top of this building. There's the chest there, and we actually have a steel pick in there, so we'll grab that. We're then going to cross the bridge, and on the other side of this bridge, we'll have one more chest that I look into. There are many more chests in this area that you can go after. However, I personally don't go after more than just these 2 chests. And the reason why is because I'm going to take you to a place that has way more loot than what you can get in these chests. We'll check the spawn here. It is not what I wanted to spawn there. If you get a lone fisherman there, you can either come back and knock them out later on, or you can kill them for their armor because they drop the same armor that we're wearing currently. Before we enter and slay Seth for his possible drop of his truncheon, we're going to head into the bar to cure our corruption. Once our corruption's cured, we're going to enter the dungeon at the back of the bar. We're just going in here to fight Seth, and then we are going to turn around and run right back out. Once you've got him ended, hopefully you'll get the Seth truncheon out of him, but I did not, so we'll revisit him at a later date. Now we're going to leave Sepper Maru, and I'm going to take you to my second favorite place to loot early on. This place actually can have more loot than what you get in the Sorcery Cave. So this is one of those places that really a lot of people don't go to, but should go to more often. Now we're going to place our bedroll here right outside of the Silver Mine Cave. The Silver Mine Cave is right here. We're in 6B. and we'll just leave that there and run inside the cave. Inside the abandoned silver mine, we're just going to run straight through. We don't want to stop and fight any enemies at this point in time. We're just going to continue running until we get to the location where we can actually start looting just a ton of stuff. Once you get to this opening here, you're going to see these boxes on the left-hand side. You want to make sure you have enough stamina to climb these boxes. There we go. Once we're at the top, we're just going to climb up this rock wall and we'll be able to start looting. Now you want to make sure that you have at least 105 stamina here. All you have to do to get that extra 5 stamina is to drink until you're satiated with water. Stop wherever there is a resting point and continue to hold the jump button while you're climbing up here so that if you do let go, you grab a hold again. And there we go, we're at the top. This first chest is usually just a single or double item, but we can grab that out of there if you want to. We'll then climb up a little bit further. You can see there's a chest here. You can grab those items if you want to. And then we have gold and silver. Now, before I head off that direction, I actually want to come back down to right here, and I want to climb straight up. Once we're here, we're going to climb over to the other section there. And then we have our first really good chest. You can see right off the bat, we have a star metal pickaxe, we have a hardened steel sword, and then we have some star metal and some other really good items. We're going to head off this way and climb up over here for a couple more chests. Again, loot it all or loot just what you want when you're here. We then have the ability to climb up even further, so we'll go up even further. We have a couple of chests here that we can loot, and then if we run across, we should have some more chests over here. Now, if you end up falling to your death, you can respawn at the dungeon or at your bedroll. Now that we're back up top, just don't take the risky jump, just climb across like this, and you won't have any worry about falling. We're then going to continue going up, and we'll have another couple of chests over here. Bunch of gold and silver in that one, and then some silver in that one. We can then drop over the edge here and check the other side for a single chest. More gold and silver there. And then we're going to drop down below for this chest. You can see some really great items in here. From here, we're going to climb over to that chest there. So if we jump up here, we should be able to make it all the way around. And here you can see even more really great items, including punching daggers, a steel hammer, and an advanced weapon damage kit. From here, we want to go back down, so we'll jump across, and we did not end up sliding there like we wanted to. That's okay, we missed it just by a little bit. We're also going to slide down here. And this will give us access to these two chests, which have a bunch of really good items again. And with that, I'm finally over encumbered, and at this point in time, I would just drop everything that I'm not going to use. We got down to 95% over encumbered pretty easily, so I'll just leave it there. You should at this point have pretty much everything that you need to go out and start building or start your next progression phase, and I'll give you a few options from this point. Now you have a couple of options of what you can do next. This is the point in time where I actually start building, so that's what I'm going to start doing. However, if you wanted to at this point in time, you could head out to get the armor from the Sobek Cave over here in 7J. That cave is right in this area, and if you want to go through that process of getting that armor, that's a good place to go. You should also have quite a bit of gold coin. If you want to get more gold coin and really buy a follower, you could head out to Buccaneer Bay and just purchase your first follower. Additionally, if you just want to speed through the levels, you have some spice food already. You could find more in Sepa Maru and then head up to the frozen area and go and harvest black ice. Personally, this is where I like to stop and actually start building so that I can just craft my armor and really get a base set up. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll do that off screen. Once I have it built and all set up, I'll join you again for the next episode. Big shout out to the Legends of Whack. You're the reason this grind never stops. No fear, no fold. If you want to become a Legend of Whack, click the join button below. And if you don't want to be out of whack, click the video on the screen right now to keep the grind going.